Welcome back, DueDadd Motorsports. I'm Caleb. As you can probably tell, we are no longer in the normal garage and no longer in the current state that we're normally in. So we are in Missouri, my hometown in Wentzville, and we're at my grandfather's shop, and we are working on a 1968 F100. We are going to be doing a front Crown Vic conversion swap and putting a nice 460 big block with a C6 transmission in it. As well as we're going to be converting to a 8.8 with disc rear end and also doing a flip kit. Also have new shocks to do, new shock locations back here as well, and a few other things. So stay tuned, we're gonna get started. Alrighty, we got it all ready to get started. So what I'm gonna get doing right away is we're going to put this bar in here. And this is just once I cut all of this section out, these out, that out, that out. We want to kind of keep the frame rails parallel with each other. Shouldn't be a huge deal with them being C-channel, but just a quick, easy insurance. Throw a few tacks on this, and then the fun part of cutting all that out. So going through a bunch, we got a plasma cutter and a bunch of cutoff wheels, and we're gonna make a mess. So stay tuned. All right, so we got the front suspension out. Now it's time to start cutting all the brackets out. So all these rivets need to be cut off, and then we can start air hammering those out, and then I'll start chopping out the cross member. Fun, fun. Coming back from lunch, wanted to show you a little progress pic and what's going on. That is all the stuff we tore off already. Ooh, yeah, look at that truck. PCB trucking. Yet, still got a few more rivets to bust off. And once we get some of the inside of the channel cleaned up, we can then start our boxing. So there you go. And when they say it is messy and it is a pain, they are right. So back at it. Alrighty, next step, we got to get this mocked up and with the box plates in it. So it should be fairly easy. I already kind of have this one setting up. What we're gonna do is align this hole, which is actually aligned directly with this hole right here. That's the hole in which I'm going to enlarge for the alignment dowel on the suspension. So I need to bore that out to a 3/4 inch. So now I have this mocked up and need to mark and cut that area out so that this will sit down and recess in there. Once you do that, we'll go through and weld it all in, or tack it in once we get everything kind of bolted up. So that's my next step. Let's get to cutting, enlarging the holes on either side, and then cutting our top plate out. So
a few moments later.
All right, so we're about ready to bolt it in for the first time. So I just finished up the lower bolt holes. So this is our alignment hole. This is our rear hole, bolt hole, front bolt hole on both sides. So now we can drop our boxes from Backyard Customz right in, and we've got nice alignment holes and everything fitting up perfect. So now let's get those setting in place, and we will lift this up in place and temporarily kind of bolt it up, line it up, make sure everything's square, and we'll kind of hold it in with the bolts and then tack the boxes in so that we can then disassemble it again to weld it all the way through. So stay tuned. And it's in. Just drop it down, slap some wheels on it, and let her cinder. No, I just did some tacks, small tacks in there to just hold it in place for now. Now I can unbolt it and freaking clean up all the areas and weld it. I gotta burn that whole thing in, and after that, then we can put it in for good and shoot, start heading to try to get the engine in and transmission setting in place and kind of double checking everything. So heck yeah, progress. Alrighty, we're getting closer. I just got some rust encapsulator paint put on to a lot of the areas on the front clip now that it's ready. So we did some gloss black. Looks good. It actually worked really well on this rough, like cap corners and everything else. The smoother surfaces took a little bit more time with just a brush, but man, this is some nice thick rubberized paint. It'll work great for this old truck. So next, we'll let that dry. We'll get this guy bolted up. Last thing I'll have to do is drill these holes, get them shimmed, bolt them in, and if anybody was curious on what we use, it is rust seal. It's hard to focus on. Let's get that. There we go. KBS rust seal. Was told by my dad, who does restorations, that's good stuff. And seems to be, so we'll see how it lasts once we get it out on the road and actually use it daily. So now wait for that to dry, and we'll work on some other stuff, and then we'll come back and slap that in, and hopefully here soon we'll throw the engine in and get the pinion angle off, or the rear output shaft angle off of that, so we can match up the rear pinion. So alrighty.